The board will come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Quorum call.
Director Black,
Here.
Director Carlo,
Present.
Director Kreutz,
Here.
Director Dakotas,
Here.
Director Heath,
Here.
Director Marian,
Here.
Director Moses,
Excused.
Director Meserve, Director Sargent,
Here.
Director Silvestri,
Here.
Chairman Welch,
Present.
Mr. Nobile.
Here.
You have 10 members present and 1 excused.
10 members present, 1 excused. The quorum is established. Number 4, a moment of silence for Janine Woodman, Jan, as she was known by many, passed away peacefully on August 11th, 2025. She spent most of her career in Maine working in the superintendent's office as an administrative secretary for the Reading Director Assistant Superintendent of Schools at MSAD6. Janine was a beloved team member known for her exemplary work ethic. On behalf of the Bonnie Eagle community, we send our condolences to her family. Please join in a moment of silence. Thank you. Number 5, acceptance of the agenda. The chair recognizes the vice chair.
I move that we accept the agenda as written.
Director Heath moves to accept the agenda as written. Is there a second? Director Kreutz, any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? All opposed? 10 voting in the affirmative. The motion carries. Number 6, reading and approval of the August 18th, 2025 minutes. Is there any objection to waiving the reading? Hearing none. The chair recognizes the vice chair.
I move that we accept the minutes of August 18th, 2025 as written.
Director Heath moves to accept the reading of the August 18th minutes, 2025. Is there a second? Director Black, any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? All opposed? 10 members voting in the affirmative. The motion carries. Chair will inquire if there is any public comment. Seeing none. Number 8, the consent calendar. The chair recognizes the vice chair.
I move that we accept the consent calendar.
Vice chair moves that we accept the consent calendar. Is there a second? Director Sargent, any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? All opposed? 10 voting in the affirmative. The motion carries. So number 9 is the report from the board chairperson. I do want to start by saying and congratulating Mr. Gleason and all the faculty and staff for a wonderful, wonderful opening day convocation. This was on August 26th, on that Tuesday morning. We came together and we honored 7 people, right? 6 people for their long-term employment here at Bonnie Eagle with 35, 40 years worth of tenure. It was just really a great celebration of people staying here, people being part of our community. So just fantastic. I also just want to briefly note a couple of things from our adult education for the month of September. You can set up a meeting for diploma options, if that's something that you're interested in, by calling the 929-9185 number. There's college and career access programs, college prep programs and courses, resume development, career assistance. Some highlights for this month would be a book club, which they do on Monday evenings, and substitute teacher training starting Wednesday, September 17th at 3:30 p.m. That's at Bonnie Eagle Middle School. Do check out the adult education offerings. Is there any questions for me on my report? Seeing none, Chair recognizes the superintendent.
Thank you. Good evening. So a few items to report tonight. I think I'll go, I probably should stick to the order I have them written in because I'll forget them if I don't do that. So one thing that I'm going to try to continue to do is to report on some item related to our strategic planning. So the one I want to talk about as we start school is attendance. We can't educate our students if they aren't there, and I think you're going to see, well, I know you're going to see all of the schools focusing on attendance this year. So I just want to remind folks that there is truancy, which is a pretty legal definition, and I think everybody is aware that truancy is not good, and that is any student who misses 7 days of school in a row or a total of 10 days unexcused. And so that's something we definitely recognize and work on. But the other side of the coin is chronic absenteeism, which can include excused absences. So if a student misses 10% or more of the school year, which is 18 days of school approximately, whether they're excused or not, that student's considered chronically absent. And there's a strong correlation between absenteeism and failure rates or not having success in school. And what we find is that some parents don't recognize how many days their kids are staying home until they have that conversation, whether it's a vacation, a family trip, an illness, and those days add up. So just as we start the new year, every day of school is important. There are 177 student days of school, and we'd like to see kids there, as many of them as possible. So just for any parent to just keep that in mind and keep following that communication from school around absenteeism. The return to school highlights, it's hard to name everything. Between Lori and I, we definitely got to, I think, pretty much all the schools. It's always nice to see the excited faces, the excitement. You can't get back that first day of school excitement that happens. It's one of the unique things about school. I think the staff feels the same way. It's like a renewal. So a lot of happy kids, happy staff. We have I did see them all functioning. I think our Standish school zone lights are working properly, and the feedback I got, especially like from Georgie Jack, is it made a big difference slowing traffic down. I think people just didn't think about it when they drove in front of that school, and they're all of a sudden going 40 and past the school. And Principal Casey noticed that traffic was very much slowed and appropriate. So again, thank you to Tasha Pinkham for spearheading that effort. Definitely helped contribute to a nice back to school. As Board Chair Welch alluded to, it's 6 people that we recognize. This is something we do in the district each year. It's gone back for years. We stopped doing it like 1 or 2 years, and there was a lot of pushback to get back to doing it. But when we have staff that have been with us for 35 or more years on 5-year increments, we recognize them in front of everybody at opening day. So we had 6 people who have worked in the district for more than 35 years. So we had Carol Wagner at 35 years, Kathy Brooks at 40 years, Patty Mingione, 40 years, Karen Boucher, 40 years, Marion Daniels, 45 years, which is kind of funny because she says she already got her 45-year plaque because there was some apparently mistake about counting when she was a substitute driver or something that maybe wasn't supposed to count. So she might have gotten 2 45-year plaques, which is too funny. And maybe we owe her a 50, I'm not sure. And then we had one person recognized for 46 years, and that was because we missed him last year, Tony Perkins. So he's probably one of the only people who will ever get a 46-year plaque. But it was nice, people recognize, someone who works with them, a supervisor, someone who's known them, recognize them, gives a little speech, not a roast. And it was very nice to see that. And I've personally, being here for 24 years, I've worked with a number of these people. Tony Perkins was one of the first people that I met in the district. I think it was 1996. I was the Buxton Rec Director for one summer. I didn't even know where Bonnie Eagle was at the time. And he had to put up with all my questions and making messes in the old school that used to be on the Hanson School, right? The one that is no longer standing, yep, down in the basement there. So congratulations to all those folks. Our student enrollment, I don't always, articulate it as part of this report. It's in your packet, but we are starting school in August of 2025 with 3,286 students enrolled. That is 26 less than last year at this time. So it's not nothing, but it's not, I would say that's relatively flat. We started with 3,312 last year and 3,313 the year before. So we're holding steady just around 3,300 students. There also, in your packet, there are the support staff new hires and resignations, and as I had mentioned last meeting, we've had far less turnover overall, even though some departments that is different. But we have a net gain of 8 staff. There were a couple names that aren't support staff that are on that report that we neglected to take off. That was an internal change in how we do business. But when you count the support staff, a net gain of 8 staff. And then I have a couple of resignations to report. Lenny Holmes, Director of Alternative Education, will be resigning at the end of the month. Personal reasons, I wish him well, no big emergency, nothing tragic. He's just making a decision that's best for him and his family, and we wish him well for all the years that he has dedicated to the Bonne Eagle School District, and especially his work at building the Learning Center into what it is. So, I wish him well. We'll be posting to fill that, probably for an interim position for the year, and then just because of the timing, and then posting again in the spring. Cody Elliott, a phys ed teacher at Buxton Center, will be resigning at the end of the month. A late opportunity, closer to home, fits better with his life goals, and the timing isn't great, but I always say to people, life doesn't happen on a school year schedule. It's hard to fill these positions sometimes at this time of year, but again, I don't begrudge people an opportunity, and he also has done good work for us, and we'll be sorry to see him go. But that position has already been posted, and we've had a number of applicants, which is interesting because phys ed sometimes is hard to fill. So we will work on filling those positions, and that is what I have for report for you tonight.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for the superintendent, Director Black?
Yes, I have a question. I know all the speeding, the lights are up, but there's none at HBM rate. Is that something that?
We're working on it.
Okay.
Because you had asked in Finance and Facilities last year, and I had to do a little research into how this process is initiated, and it does look like it's a joint effort with the towns, but typically the towns initiate it, and I have not had a conversation with the town of Leamington yet to see what we can do there, but that's something that's on our list to do this year.
Okay, I can, Thursday night is the selectmen's meeting. I think I'll go up and talk to them about it.
Yeah, and again, Standish was able to get grants, so I don't think the town paid for it. I think that they got a grant, and then they may have covered the installation, and we've definitely worked with them on that, because I think that's the last school, because
Yeah.
Hollis has had them for a long time, Buxton has them, all the Standish schools now, so I think HB would be our last one, and then we'd have them all complete. So yes, thanks for
Yeah.
any help.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Dr. Carlo?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not a question, but I just want to pay some homage to Director Holmes on his resignation under his and his team's leadership over the last several years. The Learning Center has grown tremendously. It's an excellent program, and I want to compliment him and his team on all their work.
Director Kreutz?
Not a question, but Mr. Carlo stole my thunder, so I second everything he said. Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Absolutely. Great, moving to number 11, the student report. Is there a student report? Wonderful.
So yeah, as you might imagine, we're only 3 days into the school year so far, and we do not have any substantial reports from the schools quite yet, but I definitely hope that our next meeting will bring some good news. That being said, we welcome all our new students and staff members as the year begins, and we look forward to another happy and successful year. So thank you, and good luck to you all.
Great. Any questions for the student reports? Seeing none. Number 12, resolution for first reading. Resolution 2, authorize lease purchase of 3 new school buses in the principal amount of $335,522.85. Chair recognizes the vice chair.
I move that the resolution entitled Resolution to Authorize Lease Purchase of 3 New School Buses in the principal amount of $335,522.85 be adopted in form and presented to this meeting.
Vice Chair moves the resolution. Is there a second? Director Sargent, discussion? Would you like to say something, Mr. Sargent?
Just for the public, the state has approved us for 3 buses this year, and these are the 3. They are lease purchases, so at the end, we own the buses for $1. And the interest rate is favorable over the period. Kudos to Don and staff, sending that out to several sources to get us a good rate. And thank you, Don.
Any other discussion? Dr. Carlo?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm assuming that this comes favorably reported from the Finance Committee?
Yes.
Are we retiring 3 school buses, or are we stockpiling?
I believe, I'm looking at Dawn, but I believe that when we take on new buses, part of the process is to retire a bus. As fun as it sounds to stockpile buses, I don't believe that we are stockpiling buses. I don't know, Dawn, if you want to add any more.
We will be retiring buses. We will bring a list to finance and facilities of they're being taken out of circulation. I don't think last year we actually disposed of buses, but they've been out of circulation. This year, we are going to make sure that they are actually disposed of as well. So we will have a
So
list.
apparently we have been stockpiling buses. You were right.
Do we sell them? Do we make a profit on them?
Yes, we don't make a profit, but we put them out. We have a list of vehicles that we will be disposing of, and we provide that list to several vendors, and they do usually sealed bids, and we sell them to whoever has the highest bid.
Director Black?
So I want to thank the district for Leamington to be able to get a bus from MSAD6 for the rec program. It means so much to the community, so thank you.
Just to clarify, before we put them out to bid, we ask the towns if they have a need for any of them. And then whatever's left, we put out to bid.
Wonderful. Any other discussion? Any other questions? Director Heath?
I just wanted to let people know in their packet, if you had more information, there are the notes of the motion and the resolution, and 10 different bullet points, 11 different bullet points, if you want, for anybody in the public who wants more information about that.
Brilliant. Any other discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? 10 voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Number 13, MSBA proposed resolutions. Chair recognizes the superintendent.
Yeah, I think there was no intention to have an in-depth discussion tonight. This is just to put this in your hands so you can consider it, and then in the future, we would put it back on to give Director Dakotas any direction or thoughts you might have on these resolutions before she attends the regional meeting in October. I forget what date, but I believe it's in October. So we have a couple of meetings, I think at least 2 more meetings before she would need any input that you might have. So you're welcome to ask any questions if you've looked at it or provide any input, but I think the intention was to have a discussion at a later meeting.
Any immediate questions for the superintendent? Hearing none. Report from the committees. Committee on Finance and Facilities. Chair recognizes Director Sargent.
Thank you. Sorry about that. If I can shut it off. There we go. We had our Finance and Facilities meeting back on August 14th. We had 4 members present. We reviewed the accounts payable and payroll warrants. They were all fine. Same with the top 25 and the interim financial report. We had an item that was brought forward tonight, which was the rates were reviewed for the 3 new buses for the lease purchase, and we forwarded it on for tonight's meeting. This is an item for the board. The parish house I'll fix it. There. The parish house, which is outside on the right-hand side as you leave the parking lot, is up for sale. The church approached the finance and facilities and the superintendent about securing an easement for the water line, much the same way that the Buxton Hollis Historical, their water is the same source. So we were agreeable with the understanding that they would pay the cost. And we did make their life a little easier by giving them the material that had already been done by the Buxton Hollis Historical so that they could do the paperwork. The church is attempting to sell that building because of declining membership and that they don't use it. Unfortunately, that building is sitting on a piece of property that just is basically the building and a little bit around it, so there's not much there. And finally, we had 14 pages of what the maintenance and facilities had done for improvements over the summer. And if you've got a few moments, you ought to look at it in your packet. It's really extensive, but there's so much more to do. And that has to do with a number of older buildings that we've got. But kudos to finance and facilities for all the work that they did this summer. And so, any questions?
Seeing none, thank you so much for all the work that the Committee on Finance and Facilities is doing. Committee on Curriculum Report. Chair recognizes Director Kreutz.
Thank you so much. The Curriculum Committee met virtually on Tuesday, August 26th at 4:30 p.m. All committee members and the Curriculum Department were in attendance. Meeting kicked off at 4:33. We unanimously approved the May 13th Curriculum Committee minutes. We then moved to, there was no public comment. We moved to the determination of the chair and the vice chair. I was elected as the chair, and Director Dakotas was elected as vice chair. So thank you, Director Dakotas, for helping me run the committee this year. We then discussed the schedule for the year and put out if anyone had any potential agenda items that we wanted to specifically discuss. The Curriculum Committee will generally be meeting on the third Tuesday of the month in person here at Central Office at 5:30 p.m. Once we hit December, and then the rest of the year, some of those dates do shift due to holidays and necessity. Once the minutes are published, those will all be available for folks to take a look at if they are interested in attending, which we are always happy to have the public. We discussed that our next meeting, we will be talking about the Bonnie Eagle High School Portrait of a Graduate Vision in our September meeting, and we will also be talking about the 25-26 curriculum goals, the Curriculum Committee goals. And the committee did not have any other items that we brought forward as specific topics of discussion, but the committee knows that anything that they want to bring forward, we are happy to hear, and I would extend that to the rest of our board. If there are things that that you're curious about, feel free to contact myself or Director Dakotas, and we will be happy to bring those forward to the Curriculum Committee. We had no other business. We established that our next meeting will be September 16th at 5:30 here at Central Office, and we unanimously adjourned at 4:45.
Thank you for that report. Are there any questions for the Curriculum Committee? Seeing none? Number 15, notification of scheduled meetings, Thursday, September 11th, 2025, Central Office Conference Room, Committee of Finance and Facilities, 4 p.m. Conference room.
I have a report.
Mr. Carlo, yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sorry about that. I should have been more assertive so that you could hear me. The Policy Committee met on August 4th at 4:30. Director Meserve was elected vice chairman, and I was elected chairman of that committee. We unanimously approved all of the school handbooks. We had representatives from the high school, the middle school, and the elementary schools present who went over their proposals, and the committee agreed with them unanimously. There were no policies brought forward for consideration at this meeting, but the committee decided to continue with the regularly scheduled times of meeting on the first and the third Mondays at 4:30 prior to all the school board meetings as needed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Perfect, thank you so much. Any questions for the Policy Committee? Seeing none. Scheduled meetings. Thursday, September 11th, 2025, Central Office Conference Room. It's going to be the Committee on Finance and Facilities. It's at 4 p.m. Tuesday, September 15th, 2025, Central Office Library, Committee on Policy and Rules, 4:30 p.m. And Thursday, September 15th, 2025, Central Office Conference Room, televised, the regular board meeting at 6 p.m. Are there any other? Director Marie?
One of those is wrong, it's either Tuesday or the 15th, because Tuesday and the 15th don't line up. The 15th is actually Monday,
Monday.
and Tuesday is
Yeah,
15th 's
the
Monday.
11th is definitely Thursday. Tuesdays,
15th?
Monday the 15th.
Monday.
15th, correct one? Perfect. Thank you for that catch. So Monday, September 15th, for the Committee on Policy and Rules at 4:30 p.m., Central Office Library, and Monday, September 15th, 2025, Central Office Conference Room for the regular board meeting at 6 p.m. Any other meetings that anyone needs to announce at this time? Hearing none, the chair recognizes the vice chair.
I move we adjourn.
Director Heath moves we adjourn. Is there a second? Director Dakotas, all those in favor? All opposed? 10 voting in the affirmative. The meeting is adjourned until Monday, September 15th.